Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Blue Archive reaction. We're finally at the time of year where I can take off my jacket because I don't really need it right now. It's warm enough. Also, this is another request set by Niraganda, who said I need to listen to 235 and 236, and that these are both event songs, but not related to each other in any way. I know the first one is by EmoCosine, which is kind of cool seeing them so many times in a row. Like, I only knew them from like one or two songs, so maybe they're becoming like a mainstay on the soundtrack here, which would be pretty neat, but I'll digress and we'll just jump into these songs and hear what they have to offer, shall we? Let's go! It's called Sugary Holiday. I'm not sure what kind of holiday they're going to refer to. Ooh. Kind of a double build up here. Well, I hear like chimes in there. This can't be a winter one, can it? Usually that's a wintry instrument. But if it's a new song, Valentine's Day maybe? Unless I'm just a few months behind when it comes to this, but interesting on the scale there. Yeah. Kind of adding this mystical mystery energy behind it. Ooh, that changed it up. Emo loves to do that. I'm realizing that's a thing that Emo does. Oh, there it is. Emo loves throwing in these like really awesome half times. Some of the best half times I've heard from Blue Archive. Well, as expected, that was an absolute delight to hear. It definitely had this, I've mentioned this before on the channel, but like, it had this kind of KARUT energy that I love, and this definitely leaned a lot into that sort of thing. Especially that halftime part at the end felt so much like Pon Pon Pon, I just couldn't get over it. I was just kind of vibing with it, kind of living through my memories there. It was just such a good time. Everything in this song, and like, again, EmoCosine kind of always going for this exact energy, and I love it. It's kind of this blend of like K-pop and J-pop, this like approach that feels very like K-pop star and maybe a little bit like idol producer in that way, and that totally fits the theme of the game overall. But like, also just because of that, it makes me wonder if that's like EmoCosine's like second job as a producer. There are so many producers out there that like moonlight as other names for other projects and kind of separate their works that way, so that would totally make sense here. But I'm still kind of wondering what this song's holiday is. Like, is it just supposed to be a general fun holiday? Is it supposed to be a specific one? Like, it feels Christmassy again, and I'm kind of just accustomed to hearing the chimes used for like Christmas music because that's what it's used for in the West a lot, and sure, other countries use it for that as well, but it also just doesn't feel like it lines up timeline wise. So maybe this is more of like a Valentine's Day theme that would also fit. Again, the name Sugary Holiday kind of gives me that as well. It could be anything to do with sweets, that would totally fit, but I just don't know. It could just be a general like spring breaky sort of sound too, and just having a good time, because that's all this song just exudes from itself, is just a good time, and it's so adorable and so much fun and so well produced. But the one I have to listen to after this is Pajama Sleepover, which I'm kind of confused what that's going to sound like. How do you make a sleepover into a song. I feel like there's a few ways to do that for sure, but I just won't know until I listen to it. So I guess we should take this time and go listen to that one next, shall we? Oh. What are we doing? This kind of feels more like a mall lobby, like a shopping center kind of theme. Vibing with it though. The approach of this feels like it might be EmoCosine as well. Starting to notice little characteristics. Could very well be. It almost feels a little Mario Kart-esque. Maybe that's just the whole Coconut Mall meme haunting me. But we vibing. That's not how I would have written for a sleepover, but maybe it's not supposed to be a sleepover. Not literally. We'll get to that. So never mind about that. In between the cut, I was like, oh yeah, I need to take off my unk hat and remember what it was like having fun as a kid. So I'm figuring this probably is a sleepover, but also it's just gonna have shenanigans because that's all sleepovers ever were. In my case, it was staying up with the boys and playing Call of Duty Black Ops late into the night, and for other people, it might be something more like, you know, goofing around, having pillow fights, kind of the traditional stuff. I don't know what these characters would be getting into, like what goofy hijinks would be ensuing here, but given the general tone of the game, it might be something as like absurd as getting into like a paintball fight in the middle of their own house. Like it could just be goofy stuff, and that's really high energy, so that would fit better with the theme. But I was just so lost in my own thought of like, this, you can't sleep to this. This is too high energy. So I had to like remember what it was like when I used to smile. So that's all that was. I want to redact my last statement from the end of that reaction just because I'm like, yeah, you know what? They're probably not sleeping. That was the whole point, wasn't it? I forgot what it was like having friends. I also re-listened to Sugary Holiday just to get some of EmoCosine's sound back in my ear, and I want to redact that statement as well. I don't think that this is EmoCosine at all on this song. I think I was just kind of rolling off of the prior energy, and I was like, hey, maybe, but no, there's way too many different things going on in the sounds. The synths are completely different. The choices are completely different. The structure in general is nothing alike, and there's no like screaming characteristics that are saying it's definitely EmoCosine, so I don't want to marry that opinion either. It's probably one of the other more traditional people we've had on this. Either KARUT, could be Mitsukio, I'm not really sure. Some of them tend to kind of float around for me between them because they all have done this for so long that all of their sounds kind of homogenize into a pool of what Blue Archive sounds like to me, but that's just me yapping. So this song was really fun, and it does definitely embody that fun and that energy. I was just too old in my brain to remember what it was like when I used to have a good time after school on the weekends, having fun with friends in a house, doing whatever we wanted, and just vibing out. But in that, it was an absolute blast, and this song was super cute and fun, and I love that. I'm assuming that the sleepover thing is definitely literal. I would not be surprised yet again, just like I think last week, where we had a theme that was like specifically to some characters that I assumed was just like an outfit alter. That's probably the case here. Sleepover allows you to have pajama alters. That totally makes sense. The word pajama being an acronym name is probably just a joke for the militant background of some of this game's content, so that would also make sense. Like, they're kind of making a clan or a team out of this, and again, that alludes to the hijinks that they might be getting into during this event, so that also makes sense. But either way, I'm gonna stop yapping. Obviously, every single song in this game has been an absolute blast so far, unless it wants to hit you over the face with feels, which has happened a couple of times, but nonetheless an absolute great time to listen to both of them, and just having a good time, putting me in a good mood as always. So I guess that's about it for this one. Thank you all so very much for watching, and if you have any other songs you want me to get to from Blue Archive or anything else, leave them down in the comments below and I will do my best to get to them as always. And of course, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!